Hello and welcome. And today's word for living your best life is diet. And I'm going to start off by talking about that physical side of things, but there are other aspects to diet that are important too. So if you really are on your journey to living your best life, what you put into your machine, into your body, will have a really massive impact. Not only is a healthy diet going to give us a longer life, ideally, but should do statistically, but in addition to that, what we eat really can help our mindset. So certain foods that we eat will make our mind somehow sluggish. So you may already have experienced it. If you eat too much fast food, carbohydrates with sugar and fat all mixed in, those things that we often love to have for a treat, those things in excess can lead to very strange mindset. Sometimes we even feel depressed. And that, of course, is not where we want to be when living our best life. So having a treat now and again is all good and well, but when our diet, our daily routine includes foods that are not healthy for us, too much sugar, they say that's the cocaine of this era. So white foods, flour, sugar can be really detrimental. So please think about what you're putting into your body. That includes things like what kind of supplements might you need or might you be taking that you don't need. Start really to please think about what you're putting into the machine. How clean is the oil? How pure is it? How beneficial is it to you? But I would also like you to think past the body and think about what you're feeding your mind and what kind of emotions are you giving a lot of space to that might not be beneficial to your emotional system. And so, although it's very important for us to feel what we feel, we can also manage how long we sit in certain types of emotions. And a nice one is when I often mention this when I'm coaching people. If you get irritated, very irritated by a colleague, give yourself space, remove yourself from the situation, give yourself space to feel very, very irritated if you have to, and then move on. Write things down in a safe place where it won't be read by anybody else, and then move on with your life because the clock is not holding on for you. So be mindful, absolutely acknowledge feelings and emotions, but we don't need to let them run our life. So being mindful of that's quite important. So what are we putting into our mind? What are we watching on our phones? What are we watching on TV? And how much are we allowing ourselves to be programmed by the outside world? Be very, very mindful of that, including friends and people you spend time talking to. Are they a positive influence? Are they negative? Are they pulling you away from your desired life? These are really great questions to be asking yourself. So diet for me goes far beyond the physical body. It really goes into the emotional body, but very much also into the mental body. The mental is often where all our problems start and end. Isn't that great? So 3 action steps for today. Replace, please, processed foods with whole natural ingredients, at least for a week, and see how it feels, and enjoy the process of preparing food. That can be a time of meditation, a time for dancing in the kitchen, a time for chatting with your partner or your children or somebody on the phone. You could be learning whilst you're cooking. So take that time and make it precious for you, whatever that looks like. And they say that we should drink a lot more water. And I absolutely would agree that having, hydration is very important. But drinking water without the right vitamins in your body, it will go straight through you. So we need to make sure that we've got those electrolytes in our system as well, so that the body can absorb water healthily. Be mindful, please, of what you're putting into your mind. Really, really knuckle down and assess what you're watching, what you're following, who you're following, and for how long. And if I were you, and this is what I do for myself, I spend half an hour, sometime in the evening, to just watch funny things online, to just relax. But I make sure it's just half an hour. And outside of that, I'm looking at specific things that I want to watch for learning. I'm not allowing myself to be enticed by what comes up on my phone, because that to me feels like it's being forced into my consciousness. And I don't feel very comfortable with that anymore. And so today we're ending with a quote, which goes nicely back to the physical body, but not only really if you think beyond that. And this is by Heather Morgan. Every time you eat or drink, you're either feeding disease or fighting it.